Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam.
Pranam, Pranam, Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Jil Mataji. So, should we start or we should wait, Mataji, for a couple of minutes, or we can start Kirtan at least?
I think you can start, Prabhuji.
Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivara Dhari Jaya Girivara Dhari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Jayo Radha Ras Bihari Radha Ras Bihari Radhe Jayo Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Bolo Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. So we will read first we are going to talk on the topic of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 24. Yonam yontas sukhonantara ramas tathantara jyotir evaya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto digacchati yonta sukho nantara ramas tathantara jyotirevaya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto digacchati yonta sukho antara ramas tathantara jyotir evaya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto dhigacchati yunta sukhonan antara ramas. Would you like to repeat? Anyone?
Yes, Prabhuji. I will
Hare,
repeat.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Did you pick up? I mean, random words, because usually we are discussing fifth chapter, right?
Oh, my bad. No, random verse. No, the verse number is wrong, Prabhu.
Oh, okay. This is a fifth chapter.
Yeah,
Okay,
fifth
all right.
chapter. I just missed it. Good catch,
Oh,
Prabhu.
all right. Okay, okay. No, that's
Yeah,
what I was wondering. It's why you are discussing
yeah,
second chapter. Okay, Prabhu, go ahead.
yeah. Good catch, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So this is verse number, chapter 5, verse. So again, we will read one time. I'll read it, and then you can repeat after me. So chapter 5, verse number 24. Yunta sukho antara ramas tathantara jyotirevaya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto digacchati. Yeah, anybody would like to repeat this?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yo antah suko antaramas tatantar jyotir eva yaha sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto adigacchati.
Very good, Mataji. Anybody else? Rasraj Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Yo anta sukho mas tathantara jyotir evaya shayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuta adigacchati.
Very good, Prabhu. Anybody else would like to read this verse, or shall I proceed? Okay. So I will read the synonyms. Ya, one who.
Yeah,
Anta sukha. Ya, one who.
one who.
Anta sukha.
Antasika,
Happy from within.
happy from
Happy
within.
with
Antararama.
antara
Ramaha,
Actively enjoying within.
actively
actively
enjoying
enjoying within
within.
Tatha,
Tata,
as well as.
as
as
well as
Antajyoti,
Antashoti,
jyoti
aiming within.
aim within.
within
Eva,
Eva,
eva
certainly.
certainly
certainly.
Ya,
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 anyone,
anyone.
Saha,
Saha,
he,
he,
yogi,
yogi,
a mystic,
a mystic.
Brahma Nirvanam,
Brahma Nirvanam,
liberation in the Supreme,
liberation in
liberation
the
in the
Supreme.
Supreme.
Brahma Bhuta, being self-realized,
Brahma Bhuta, being self-realized.
Adhigachati,
Adhigachat.
Adhigati,
attains.
attains.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme. So let's read the translation. Translation I have read. Now let's read the purport. Purport is very short. Unless one is able to relish happiness from within, how can one retire from external engagements meant for deriving superficial happiness? A liberated person enjoys happiness by factual experience. He can therefore sit silently at any place and enjoy the activities of life from within. Such a liberated person no longer desires external material happiness. This state is called Brahma Bhuta, attaining which one is assured of going back to Godhead, back to home. So let's see. So here, what few words I would like to emphasize on. First is it is said happiness, and it is said within our oneself, that is inner self. And then there are two things that are described here. One is external happiness, one is internal happiness. And then Brahma Bhuta, Brahma Nirvana. These things, we will see in detail what exactly it means. So from the translation, one whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic, a perfect yogi. He is liberated in Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme. So let's see. This chapter, a quick summarization of chapter 5. So from the verses, if you see, in verse number 1, Arjuna asks question, sannyasa or karma yoga. He's in confused state, so he asks which one is better. Then 2 to 6, where uh, karma yoga is equal to but easier than sannyasa. But but here also, here why karma yoga, or Krishna emphasized on karma yoga, because Arjuna is in that state. So we will see, what this sannyas also means. And like simple living, what is that that actually means. So similarly verse number 17 to 16 is on nishkama karma yoga, and then 17 to 29, liberation by focusing on Supreme. So we are on this chapter, verse number 24, that is sense enjoyment is distressful, so tolerate agitation. So we will see how to tolerate agitation till the end of life by delighting inwards. So that is Brahmabhuta stage. And then next verses 25, 26, that will talk about how to attain liberation and all. So first thing, let's see what just a quick brief about simple life and what does sannyasa means. So I have one short video. I don't know whether you will be able to hear this sound. How to share this sound?
Prabhu, when you are sharing, right, it in the bottom, it will there will be a checkbox to say that share computer sound or something. You can Yeah,
Okay.
just while sharing in the bottom, you can see that there is option.
Advanced sharing option.
No. When you share, right, in that screen, before selecting the
Yeah.
screen, in the bottom you
Okay.
see
Share
it's
sound. Okay.
yeah.
Share sound. Okay. Okay. Good. So I have
Then
done
share
that.
it.
Okay. Perfect. Great. Good thing I asked you, Prabhu.
There is a social.
So this is about Krishna. This video is on Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, on his sannyasa ceremony. And Krishna Kshetra Maharaj is from Germany, disciple of His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj. He took in sannyasa from Sachinandan Maharaj, and Sachinandan Maharaj is Prabhupada's direct disciple. So we will see, like he left Germany, and then like living in a simple life, and Maharaj Krishna Kshetra Maharaj is actually, you know how well he is connected with simple life and sannyasa. We'll just see. You are able to hear sound?
Yes, true.
Thank you.
Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanditam
In India, there is a tradition that when
Please hear this, like it's very beautifully described by Maharaj.
a person in India, there is a tradition that when a person takes sannyas, he is committing official social suicide.
So here Maharaj says that like sannyasa means one who commits official suicide. So generally we have seen, like suicide is generally in a negative terms. It is not good, but here Maharaj is telling about he's telling about committing suicide, but socially means, in later video Maharaj also explains, like when a person takes sannyas in India, he's getting he gets I mean, in our cult we get a three danda. A person gets three dandi sannyasi. So there are three danda. It means controlling mind, uh, vacha, manasa, and kaya. From these three things, you need to surrender. And there is one axe, not like an axe, but in that a curved bamboo is there at the top of that is called axe. Through that axe, it is used to cut the material attachments. So that is the significance of that danda, or the stick which sannyasi hold. And also, like once like in I mean in India, there is a tradition that when any person takes sannyasa, he goes out of the village, and then he just there is a, I mean, at the border of the village, so he will just draw a line, and once he crosses that line, he never returns back to that. Never return back means mentally he's just disconnected he disconnects with the so-called parents or whatever relations are there. So when I had this, like this is very kind of a negative way. But when I asked one of the senior brahmachari this question, so how, I mean, it doesn't mean that disconnecting right now. Right now, when a materialist person lives, he just lives for himself and the people who are associated. I mean, his kids, his wife, or his husband, her husband, this and that, like only related to himself. And then but here when a person takes sannyas, he just disconnects. It's nothing, for himself anymore now. He accepts the whole society as his family, and then he lives like that, not attached to one particular set of friends or family. So that's why sannyasi is also a traveler. So they don't get attached to one set of people or family, friends, or whoever it is. So they keep on travel, they keep on traveling. So that is one insight about sannyasa and tridanda and a simple living. Like we see, Maharaj left Germany, and then he took sannyas, and then taking a dip in that holy Yamuna river. So that's what uh, hap- means that's what it means to be happy from inside. So when we get disconnected, when we disconnect ourselves from the external happiness, and once we have that inner happiness, you don't need anything. So if you sit in the purport, as Prabhupada was mentioning, a person can sit and then just chant the name of Hare Krishna. When he chants, then automatically tears would flow. That what it's not tears doesn't mean that out of I mean, they are aesthetic tears. It's just their heart is so filled with love and happiness that tears just flows out. So that is what happens in that stage. And we are talking about Raghunath Das Goswami in his book Manas Siksha. I mean, he beautifully describes about inner self, because today's topic on 5.24. So if we talk about inner self, so you need to be happy from inner. So we will see, this is one verse. Guru Goshte Goshtala Yeshu Jane Bhurasu Gane Swamantrese Namni Vrajanava Yuvadvandva Sharane Sada Dambam Hetva Kuru Ratim Apurva Matitaram Aye Swantardhasta Chaturbhigache Dritapada. O my uncomprehending inner self, my dear brother mind,
Hare
I
Hare
humbly prostrate
Krishna Hare
myself
Krishna Ram
before
Hare Ram
you,
Hare 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 Krishna
uh, before you, before you, taking hold of your feet, I beseech you, please give up all pride and surrender fully to Shri Guru, to the spiritual abode of Vrajadhama, to the residence of Vraja, to all Vaishnav devotees of the Lord, to the Sattvika Brahmanas, to the holy names of the Supreme Lord, and to ever fresh and youthful divine couple, um, a couple of blossoming beauty, Sri Radha and Krishna. And in this way, you can quickly develop the youthful, uh, quickly develop. Um, where is it? Sorry. Quickly develop the sublime attachment to them. So we need to disconnect ourselves. So here it says that, oh, uncomprehending inner self, my dear brother mind, oh my mind, just pay obis. He's requesting, see the acharyas, how they have beautifully described inner self, our mind, you know like they are requesting mind, and then they are telling to surrender fully to Guru Vaishnava's devotee Vraja. So that is what this the purpose of this Manasiksha prayer is. And uh, and how to control one's senses. So if a person wants to control senses, then then I would request those who don't have a Nectar of Instruction book. It's a very small book, small book, and you can read those read the verses, and in very small book. So verse number 1, it talks about Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udarapastha vegam etan veganyo vishahet adhira sarvamapi mam prithvim sasishyat. What does this mean? O sober mind, who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demand, the action of anger, and urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals are qualified to make disciples all over. So same person, in the verse number 24 that we saw. So here it says the 5.24. Here it says that one who is one who is one whose happiness is within. So who is active, rejoice within, who aims inward, is actually a perfect yogi. So if you want to become a perfect yogi, so then these things needs to be controlled. These are external senses. So once a person, as long as a person is attached to these external senses, I mean, many of us, we have, though we have taken this path of devotion, still there might be, many attachment to us. But it's okay, it doesn't matter. Still you have attachment, just carrying on, like a gold is purified as long as it is in touch with the fire. So as long as we are in touch with this great, and like, we should consider ourselves to be fortunate to be connected with such great movement by Srila Prabhupada, the great parampara, Brahma Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya, where we have the blessings of Mahaprabhu and our great acharyas. So as long as you're connected with this fire, all the impurities will slowly get purified, and they will come when this all the impurities in this gold will go away, and it will be like a pure gold. So it is going to happen. Only thing what we need to do is we need to just follow the instruction. Here it says vacho vegam, control the urges of tongue, mind, genitals, belly. These are the things which will, which are the perverted reflection in this material life. No matter how much we try to get or seek happiness, we won't get that happiness. We will always get something. We will always be in trouble only. There won't be, as long as our aspiration is material, it will put us in trouble only. Whether it is anything, like the more the most we get hurt the most when we are in love with someone whom we love extremely. So once that person doesn't reciprocate in the similar way, a person gets hurt also that bad. So it is like that. So material life is designed in such a way that you won't get the return that you will get. The return on investment will be always zero only. There won't be more than, no, nothing greater than zero in all these things. So that is what I would like to add on this. So this is how we control senses and about inner self. Now we will talk about Brahma Nirvana. Brahma Nirvana, it means, we'll just read this verse again. Yunta sukho antara Tathantara Jyotir Evaya Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuta Digachati. So Brahma Nirvana. So here we'll see Brahma Nirvana. So for materialistic people, for them it means life ends with death. For Jnani, life begins with death. And for bhaktas are like transcendental. So for them, life begins, life begins when one starts serving Krishna. So it doesn't matter which stage you are. You are like you are a kid, you are whatever age a person may be in. I have seen, some people, like they join Krishna consciousness and they progress quickly, and some people are at a very young age, they are able to connect with Krishna consciousness, and they are able to recite verses, and their consciousness is very matured also. So we have, such sort of devotees. So bhaktas, for them, age factor or life, materialist, non-material, it doesn't matter for them. It start just they want to serve Krishna. There is one saying, I mean, there is one small story of Yamuna Acharya. He's a disciple of Ramanujacharya. So he is his disciples. They came, they were serving in Tirupati, and in Tirupati, so they make nice garlands from mogra flowers. I don't know what is the English name for that, um, but like these flowers are very. Anybody knows Rasraj Prabhu or anyone? Mogra, what is it called in English?
Yasmin.
Y- Jasmine. Yeah, jasmine. Yeah, jasmine maybe. So these are small, small flowers, but they are very, the fragrance is very nice, very strong, and they offer, like if you want to please Lord Balaji, so you need to, I mean, you can offer a different type of jasmine flowers. So they make, there are huge gardens there, and this Acharya was in that in that in that flowers, in that trees, where he was plucking the flowers. So at that time a snake bit, and these disciples, they came running to his guru, saying that, you should take some medicine now. But disciples said, I mean, that guru said, Acharya said that, what is more poisonous to me? Is it like the poison of the snake, or the poison which is poison of envy, greed, which is there in my mind, in my heart? If I survive here by grace of Lord Balaji, so then, I will serve him by taking bath in this Pushkarani, a small, uh, uh, a small well, Pushkarani. I'll take a bath here and then serve Lord Balaji in Tirupati. If I am dead, if I die, I will, take bath in higher planets, and serve Lord Vishnu in that form. So for a devotee, life or death, it doesn't matter. They just want to serve Lord Krishna in any stage, at any moment. So that is how eager they are. And for them, this bodily external, or if they are if they have wealth, they will utilize that wealth for preaching Krishna consciousness, for building big temples, and for serving Krishna's devotees. So in that way, for serving prasadam. So these things, they will utilize. Money is, again, an external happiness, but still, they will use, if they are famous, if they are beautiful, or whatever stage they are in, whatever qualities they have got, then they will be, serving, and whichever varnas they will be in. So they will keep trying to serve Lord Vishnu. And this Brahma Nirvana in Bhagavad Gita, it appears in many verses. Like, these are the 4 verses wherein it appears. We will see one of the verse is 2.72. Esa Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nayanam prapya vimuhyati Sitavashyam antakalepi Brahma nirvanam rachati. That is the way of spiritual and godly life. After attaining, in 2.74, it is being described as after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So at any stage, if a person attains bhakti for bhaktas, so that time their life begins, their spiritual journey begins. And we also were talking about the whichever ashram he is in, whichever varna he may be in. So whatever occupation a person may be in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.29, 1.2.9, first canto, chapter 2, verse number 9, it is Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartharthayupakalpate नाथस्य धर्मकन्थस्य कामोलाभया हि स्मृतिः. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to the sages, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service means spreading the names of holy name. So one who is ultimate occupational service should never be used for material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So whichever state a person may be in, suppose he is a once Prabhupada was questioned by an interviewer saying that if if a missile, if an atom bomb is thrown at you, so Prabhupada instantly replied saying that, I will see that material, that bomb as a Krishna's energy. So that way, a devotee should think, and whatever occupation he or she is trying, and whatever varna or whatever ashram he may be in, grahastha, brahmacharya, it doesn't matter. But a person, from mentally he should be, from his mind, from his inner self, he should be detached. As long as he is not happy within, external things won't give happiness at all. It will just give more and more trouble. We see, like many people who are attached externally, it is so painful, like many people have attained depression and committed suicide. It's all very troublesome. So as long as we are attached externally, it will be difficult. Getting detached, we have seen in previous verses, vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam. So how to get oneself, if you control these attachments, then a person is will be able to control his, will be able to progress in spiritual life, and that person can become a sadhu. And once that person is attains that state in his mind, then he can attain the ultimate liberation, that is going back home, back to Godhead. No one can stop that. Now in verse number Srimad Bhagavatam canto 1 chapter 2 verse number 10, कामस्य नेन्द्रिया प्रीतिर लाभो जीवेत व्यावत जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थो यश्चेत कर्मभिः. Life's desire should never be directed towards sense gratification. But after hearing so much, still, like we most of us, or many of us, we might end up in some way or the other, some sort of attachment still gets up. But as I mentioned, um, there is also in Sikshashtakam, Mahaprabhu has given Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam. So Cheto Darpana Marjana. So in our heart there is dust collected from many births. So we need to just keep cleaning and be attached to this sacred fire. Then there will be a time when we will get purified. There will be a stage. The only aim is to be connected with this the mercy of Prabhupada and all the great acharyas that we have, and certainly that day will come. I just want to show one more small video. Then we will conclude and we will open for question. So this is again one nice Bhakta Santukaram. He also Mahaprabhu initiated him during his South India Yatra. So his name is mentioned as Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is the stage where this is a very old movie, 1936. So in that, so here, Sant Tukaram is leaving this planet, and then he says this nice, nice abhanga, or like bhajan we can call it as.
आम्ही जातो आमच्या गावा आमचा राम राम जावा राम राम जावा आमचा राम राम जावा आम्ही जातो आमच्या गावा आमचा राम राम जावा राम राम जावा आमचा राम राम जावा तुमची आमची हेची भेटी ये दुनिया जन्मती ये दुनिया जन्मती ये दुनिया जन्मती आता असो जावी दया तुमच्या लागत से पाया तुमच्या लागत से पाया ये तान यथानी कोणी विठ्ठल विठ्ठल बोलावा.
So here he says that now my life has now I am going back to Godhead. Back to Godhead I am going. So I bow down at your feet, and if I have committed any offense, forgive me. And if you have taken birth, then you should recite, you should chant the names of Vithala. I like that way he's telling. So that way, if we have taken a birth, we should ultimate aim is here in Nectar of Instruction, verse number 8 is clearly mentioned. Tanna marupa charitadi sukirtanano smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan vraje taddanuragi jananugami kalam nayeda kilan mityupadesha saram. So the essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full life, full time, 24 hours a day in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes. Then gradually engaging engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja. So it's said a person should always reside in Vrajadham, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footstep of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. So this is the like nectar of devotion. One nicely like it says that whoever is in Brahma Bhuta, the bhaktas whoever is bhaktas, they will always reside in Vraja, and in Vraja, residing in Vraja means like from their mind they will always be thinking and enjoying the holy name of the Lord. Like Narad Muni is there. He always 24/7, whether he is happy or he is sad, he will say, he will take the name of Lord Hari. So similarly in our Acharya Parampara, Haridas Thakur, when he used to chant, like 192 rounds every day, like always chanting the holy names of the Lord. So this is where I would like to end, and let's quickly summarize on what we spoke, and then we are open for questions. And if anybody has any comments or anybody would like to add something, then we are, please add that. Please feel free to add it, or correct me in case. So we saw, sannyasa, simple life, sannyasa also by the example of his Holiness Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. When he took sannyas, we saw a small clip how he took sannyasa. Later on, we also spoke about, we also discussed about Tridandi sannyasi and what does that mean, what is axe means. So few other details we discussed. And also, like if a person takes sannyasa, then in India there is a tradition that he draws a line, and then he goes out of the village. So once he goes out, that means all his home family members, he just disconnects himself and then accept the whole world as his family. And then we saw, we read, verse number 24, and we discussed about under inner self, inner self. We discussed from Raghunath Das Goswami's verse, Manastiksha verse, and also we discussed about Brahma Nirvana, Brahma Bhuta, Brahma Nirvana. Uh, we also discussed how one can attain the sannyasa stage, or a detachment stage, by controlling from the nectar of instruction, verse number 1, Vacho Vegam. So this, by following the rules the given in this verse, we can, if one follows through mind, body, and like he controls, then he will certainly progress in his spiritual life, and he will be able to cut himself externally, and from his mind he will be able to focus on Krishna. We also saw Brahma Bhut, Brahma Nirvana, from materialistic person, materialistic people, jnani and bhaktas. So for material people, for them life, as long as life is there, like they want to enjoy, life ends, for them life ends with death. There is no beyond that concept for them. And for gyanis, life begins with death. So they consider, whatever we are living, everything is illusion, and everything is not real. Whereas for bhaktas, it doesn't matter for them, life or death, it doesn't matter, you know for them, as long as they start serving, as long as they are serving, they will consider themselves to be liberated or happy. So they just want, their only aim is to serve. We saw example of, Yamunacharya, disciple of Ramanujacharya. So how, like his disciples, and when he was bit by a poisonous snake, then like he, for him, body, with this body or without this body, it doesn't matter. Only important thing what matters is serving Lord Krishna. So that is the ultimate. And we also notice that, nirvana appears in multiple other verses from Bhagavad Gita. And we also read 2.72, where it was described, Brahma Nirvana, again it was described. And we also noticed about ashrama. Ashrama or varna doesn't matter. The ultimate aim of all the occupation is meant for supreme liberation. Once Pyari Prabhu was telling that, if a person if a person get a good wife, or very very compatible wife, then he won't get disconnected. He will try to be very happy in externally only. So that's why material life is designed in such a way that many of us will be in that situation where we will have incompatible, or there might be some situation wherein our thoughts will not be matching. So this is how this whole material world is designed like that. We don't, I mean, you don't try to find a perfect wife or a perfect husband. You try to because that is never going to happen. You just try to be be connected with your inner self, and try to serve Krishna, Krishna. Then your life will get perfected. We also read this verse number 1.2.10 about life's desire, how to how one should direct their desires. And then ultimately we ended from verse number nectar of instruction, verse number 8, tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu. So here we say tishtan vraja, our mind should always reside in vraja. So that is the thing. Any questions or any comments? Please let me. I mean, any corrections are there? Please feel free to let me know, and I forgive. Please forgive me if I have committed any mistakes. Yeah. So I am open to questions, or if anyone would like to add something, your comments.
I have a question.
Yes, Mataji.
A lot of nice verses and nice charts you got going here. But on the one chart where you said on the Brahma Nirvana on the left, and then for the Jnani, life begins with death. But the Jnani
Yeah.
generally, doesn't he merge with the Brahman?
Yeah,
And
like,
that's considered spiritual suicide. So how is that life?
yeah. So basically, here in what terms it is mentioned is like they consider everything as an illusion, material life. So that is what Gyanis generally think about. Whereas the life ultimate aim for them is once they, I mean, if you want to get liberation, then one person needs to die, and then that person will get into that liberation. There can be many ways, like Gyanis, they can do hatha yoga, they can activate their chakra, and then once kundalini shakti is activated, they can merge. But leaving this body is their way of their way of path, their path, wherein they think that life begins, the real life begins once you leave this body. So that, and once you attain or merge yourself with that wide or uh, nirvana, that void thing, when you attain, merge yourself with that super soul, that is what their ultimate aim is.
Okay, so that's their idea of life. Okay.
That's the idea of life. Material life, they just negate it.
And in the beginning, you were going to show, you were showing a video about sannyas. It was very, very short. That was a little teaser, I think.
Yeah. It's a very nice video, Mataji.
Yeah. But in that, when you were talking about sannyas and renouncing everything, so we have to take sannyas to be happy. Is that what you're saying?
Sannyas means, again, Arjuna's question that like whether karma yoga or sannyasa. So he was confused. So here, whether it is one example where one brahmachari gave me this example, like whether a person is situated in grahastha ashram or in sannyas ashram. For them, life is like in grahastha ashram there would be a food plate with varieties of fruit, and for brahmachari in brahmachari's plate there will be like one two without ghee roti, which is very very hard also. And both of them, even like grahastha person and a person who is in sannyas, both are told to fast by holding that plate of plate for themselves. So one is having luxurious food, but still he needs to fast. And whereas other person, like he has nothing, no ghee, nothing, simple, one dried chapati he is having. So he is also also needs to fast. So both of their life, the harder life will be a person who is in grahastha ashram. Still is mentally he needs to disconnect, but ultimately as long as he's connected externally, then there is no chance of progress, whether whichever ashram a person may be in. But sannyasa means taking disconnecting from this external happiness, or we saw in nectar of instruction different urges. When a person controls those things, then whichever state he is, he will be a sannyasi only. But yes, at a stage, one person needs to take sannyas. Sannyas doesn't mean externally only, but it means living in grahastha ashram also. A person can take sannyas, just taking care of his response, just looking at the life as a responsibility, not gratifying his senses. That's what Mataji I would like to say. Maybe if you
Right,
want.
right. Because one would imagine if the happiness is within, then why would the externals matter?
Matter. Correct. Correct.
Right? It's a state of consciousness. I was actually at Guru Das's sannyas in California. Srila Prabhupada was giving him sannyas.
Mhm.
And Prabhupada said, we all have to take sannyas. We all should take sannyas, not formally, because ladies don't take sannyas anyway,
Mhm.
but like you said, mentally, or by thinking of others' welfare. That's what
Right.
the sannyasi he does.
Right. Right.
He gets off the selfish platform and he
Right.
thinks of the welfare of others, how to
Correct.
uplift mankind in general.
Right. Right. That is like a person joins military army, like when a person joins army, it is like some people needs to dedicate their life full time towards serving their country. Similarly, sannyas ashram is like that, like we one give up his life, or life's attachment, and serves. So there was one short Gorang Prabhu Mataji, who had come to our from Chowpatty temple. He was telling when he was in his 20 when he was 22 years old, and in a dilemma, that whether to join brahmachari ashram or not. So he was in that state of mind, yes no kind of situation. Then he was going with one of his mentor. He was going with him, and then suddenly he had a very bad accident, and there was blood flowing from all his like body. He was practically given a new life. That's what he said. My life would have ended at any moment, because Krishna has given me this life. Now I will utilize it to serve Krishna. So his like the his I mean, he got convinced that he needs to choose this sannyas, brahmachari ashram, and dedicate himself Prabhupada's movement. So this is one short thing I wanted to share, Mataji. So yes, sannyas is important, but as you've mentioned, like it doesn't mean externally, but mentally. by controlling. That is the most difficult part actually.
But if one can do it externally, I guess
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, that is also very good.
So where is that video of Krishna Kshetra Maharaj? Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it is there on YouTube. If you
Okay.
type Krishna Kshetra Maharaj taking sannyas, so
Okay.
you'll get a very nice video, Mataji. Like in
Yeah.
that in the Kadam Kanan Maharaj, all the many Maharaj, Chandramouli Maharaj, everybody is saying, but few things I really liked in that video.
He was the minister for deity worship for a long time. I don't know what he does now, but
And Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, Mataji.
yes, yes.
And also his like when he was taking sannyasa, Sachinandan Maharaj was hospitalized, Mataji, so he was not able to come. So he was
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
he was so depressed, and he was having all negative thoughts in his mind. And the way like it is, he Maharaj guides him, and like the realizations that he get, and how they ultimately at the end how this whole ceremony was conducted, keeping the essence of of sannyasa in mind, and then how well from hospital Maharaj is giving class. So it's like wonderful video, Mataji.
It's
I will share that.
such a beautiful mentality that the sannyasis develop of total dependence on Krishna.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes,
That-
Mataji.
The idea, total dependence.
Total. There is one his grace his holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj. So when he was in early stage, Mataji, Devamrit Prabhu. So during that time, when he was into Brahmachari ashram, so he had kept some Lakshmi for his parents. I mean, he was in a bank, so he was at a good position. So he had some Lakshmi, and then one devotee was helping him to manage. So once their parents said that, when parents told him that they don't need his money, all this money, so then he took all his money and then put it in that donation box. And that the other devotee said, because he was close friend of Maharaj, he said that like now you don't have anything left, so whatever your earnings, whatever you're saving, now it becomes zero. So Maharaj beautifully replied, saying that that is the only thing which was interfering in between me and Krishna. Now I am totally surrendered to Radha Gopinath. So,
Wow, such a nice
that's
story.
yeah.
In Srila Prabhupada writes in his Vaisheshastika prayers
Hmm.
that renunciation is the result of genuine spiritual emotion.
Genuine spiritual
Genuine
emotion.
spiritual emotion. Yeah, it's like a natural
Right,
thing. It's not meant to be artificial. It
I
actually
agree.
comes from a very elevated, platform.
Yeah.
That happiness from within.
From within, right, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Just give your blessings, Mataji, so that we can also progress in spiritual life.
We just have to continue hearing and chanting, and
Right.
the result of praise.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So we will end here now. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavya namo. Thank you very much for joining evening class, and please forgive me for any mistakes and give me your blessing so that I can progress in spiritual life. Thank you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha.